Requiem. Requiem. That originated once they told us that the recommendation was to put my grandma on hospice. Now this one is very special to me. I like all of them, and the fact that I've been blessed enough to start producing music, I mean, it means the world to me, but this one is very special because this is the last song that my grandma heard that I produced. So it means a lot. It was supposed to embody the peacefulness that comes from being on hospice. And I know she's under morphine and all that, so that helps. But in my grandma's circumstances, like, we knew where this was leading to. So one night, I guess I was trying to process her being on hospice. I mean, it's my grandma, right? I just wanted something that represented peace, but I also was wanting to see in which direction I was going to take it. You know, at the end, you hear there's conflict, there's tension, and that represents right before she passed, she woke up. And she actually woke up 3 times. That's why you hear the tension 3 times, which I guess makes sense because she was born 33, so 3 has been very prevalent in her life. You hear there that some are short, and then the last one, there's probably the climax. There's so much tension. That last one was very intense. In all 3 instances, she was trying to talk to us, and she was struggling, and we were trying to comfort her and try to bring her peace in that moment and tell her that we were going to be okay. Because even throughout all this, right after, she was worried more about us than about herself. So for example, right after the surgery, the day after her surgery, she had to get tubes to help her digest and all this medical stuff, but she couldn't talk. But even through her eyes, when they were making sure that she was properly hydrated and everything, she was still trying to make sure that I was eating. So through all this, you know, she's the one on getting surgery, she's the one struggling, and she's still looking out for us. That's the type of person my grandma was. She's struggling, she's trying to talk, and we're trying to comfort her. And then it came out of nowhere too. That's why you hear the song, and it's like there's a section where it's almost just airy and it's just strings, and then it happens, right? And that's the way it happened, out of nowhere. And then the second time, it just felt like it kept getting more intense. And then that 3rd time, she really grabbed onto us and was trying to talk, and we were just trying to comfort her. And she was also a woman of faith. So we were telling her, go with your Lord. Go with your Lord. We're going to be okay. We're okay. We love you, and everything is fine. Please just rest. And she put her head back, took her last breath, and you could just feel the tension being released from her body. I mean, I'm thinking about it now and just replaying it. It was intense. It was my dad, my mom, my sister next to me, and then myself. And we just watched her, and it was a very intense moment. But as she's relaxing, that's why at the end you hear the strings, and then it goes from being tense to almost being at peace, or there's some sort of resolve. And that's where that comes from. I didn't know what to call the song. I started with something along the lines of rest or peace, but it just really wasn't speaking to me. I was listening to a lot of requiems, and they're all pretty intense, so felt like it fit. Also supposed to honor my grandma and what we went through, so Requiem seemed like a nice fit. Ooh. 6:25 p.m. That was a hard one to make. Now, 6:25 p.m. is my grandma's time of death. It's supposed to sound angelic, right? I hope you can hear that, but I hope that with all the other voices that you also hear tension at that point in time. It's like, oh, my grandma just died. And it's like, I'm there, but I'm also watching us. It's like a outer body experience. I mean, I've had other deaths in the family, but watched her take her last breath. It was a different experience. Since it was the last time that the 5 of us were going to be in a room, we just decided to pray. And we prayed a prayer of thanksgiving to God to let him know that we were thankful for our grandmother and all the things that she had done, and God really blessed us with her. In that moment too, it's almost representative of her, that transitional moment where we're praying, we're reflecting, and we're also acknowledging that now she's on her way to being in God's presence. Now, none of us know how that works, right? So we don't know if you just appear, if you ascend and then see the world and whatnot. So 6:25, it's her time of death and represents that tension, but also what we did. So there's a little bit of an angelic, I want to say, drop in there, right? I don't know. That's just the way that flowed from me and my goal, right? For you guys to receive as the listeners. So we had her memorial service a week after, December 18th. And I mean, Christmas was quiet, New Year's was quiet, and then off to work. Life was just weird, and life is still weird. It feels like something is missing. If you feel like in the last song that there's almost like a little stutter, or it's that syncopation where you feel like something is missing, that's intentional. I did that on purpose because that's how I'm feeling. Now this time, after everything has happened, we're all adjusting, but now we're all thinking about everything that just happened. So you think about songs 1 through 5 and all those moments, and then all the memories even before everything went bad. All of us are now, we're dreaming with our grandmother. So, it was kind of nice to see her, but then you wake up and you're like, it's just a dream. So I decided to name this last song to wrap everything up as Dreams and Memories. Something that I don't know if you guys noticed, at one point in that song, there is a call back to 6:25. And the reason to that is that one of those memories that I kept on having and still do is her taking her last breaths and being with my family there in the hospital room or in the subacute room. So that's why you also hear that. It's supposed to hopefully spark a memory to the previous track, right? Because now we're moving forward. Life is different. We're adjusting to being without our grandmother. And we're still thinking about what just happened. So while we're trying to think of these fond memories, and while we're exchanging how we're dreaming about her, we're still replaying everything that just happened, and it's fresh. So that's the idea behind Dreams and Memories. And like I've said before, I hope that when you guys listen to this, it plays different, and you guys feel more connected with the EP. And ultimately, I do hope that you guys enjoy it. And then my hope too is that if any of you are going through anything similar, I hope this EP does help you guys out. I hope that you can connect with it and that it helps you, and that you may not know or you may not have the words to articulate what you're feeling, but you're able to connect with the songs to match what it is that you're feeling. I don't know about your grandma. I don't know if it's a Cuban thing or a Latino thing, but ever since I could remember, my grandma was always saying, "Ay." She would sigh, "Ay." And I'd be like, "¿Qué pasó, abuela?" She's like, "A tu abuela le queda poco. There's very little left of your grandma." And I'm like, "What? What are you saying?" Just to kind of like rub it in her face. One of my goals in life was to make her a great grandma, to say, "See, for the last like 30 years you've been complaining that you're gonna die soon, there's very little left of you, and now you're a great grandmother." So I didn't get a chance to make her a great grandmother, and there were still a few things that I wanted to do with her, but I was reminded that we did a lot of things and that I should try and focus on all the things. And I gotta say, I am so blessed to have had my grandmother. I try to think back, and honestly, sometimes it's hard to get sad because we have so many funny memories, and I just end up laughing. There was a moment where people were trying to console us as a family and would say, "But she leaves behind a great legacy. And just think about the legacy, and she was a great woman." And that is true. But how do we articulate such a legacy? I actually had a chance to meet my maternal grandparents, but I never got a chance to meet my grandfather. But from how I've grown to know them and from the stories, I feel like they were all the same. Like they all had this legacy, right? I would not have been unhappy if I had all four of them throughout my entire life. But my grandma understood the assignment. My grandmother understood the assignment because she loved me so much, and even my sister, like she loved us so much that she could never replace the other three grandparents, but she gave so much of herself that we never felt the void, and we never felt like we didn't have grandparents. She tried to make up for those that couldn't leave Cuba. And for that, I'm very grateful. And, I feel like if my grandma wasn't who she was and my family wasn't who they are, this whole experience would have been completely different. So I want to leave that with you guys, and I want to encourage you guys that even though times can be hard and people can be hard, because they can be, we all can be, I'm reminded of my grandma's legacy, and just love on them. Maybe they didn't receive the love that they should have, or maybe they are missing someone, but love enough to fill in those gaps where others can't. And I think that's part of my grandmother's legacy. I also didn't realize that my grandma was such a goofball because I would joke around with her when we would go shopping and traveling and everything. And I would say, hey, abuela, you want to say something to your fans? ¿Quieres decirle algo a tus fans? And I got to tell you, in trying to look for pictures for the memorial service, I did that so many times that I was able to put a video together. Like, it's hard to be sad because it's so funny. I want to share that with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video that I'm about to share, but I really hope that you guys enjoy Asteria. It really means a lot to me, and I was burnt. I was burnt and still going to work and trying to live life, but trying to process. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And I still think about that day, you know, but when I watch the videos that you're about to see and the pictures, like, I was very blessed with my grandmother and my family. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for listening to Asteria, and thank you. I really appreciate you guys sticking it through and watching this whole album breakdown / documentary that I put together for you guys, and hopefully it gives you some insight to the EP. But until next time, God bless you all. ¿Quieres decir algo a tus fans?
¿Con quién te conectas?
Con cualquiera. Esto es para tus fans en las redes sociales. No, tú no, pero yo sí.
Saludos, amigos.
¿Qué tú le quieres decir a tus fans? A los fans tuyos de las redes sociales.
Yo no tengo fans de ellos.
No, eso te crees tú, Diego.
Ya estoy en punta.
Ya vamos, estamos esperando la silla de ruedas, ¿no?
Un saludo para quién.
A la gente, tu fan.
Para tu fan. Como tengo fans.
Sí.
Rico.
Di algo para tus fans, abuela.
Hola, fans. Aquí estoy con la sopa en la mano.
Abuela, dile algo a tus fans.
Otra vez tú estás en ese problema, van a decir qué hacemos con tanto lío de mata.
Estamos aquí en la playa cogiendo sol para si quieren ver la vista con nosotros, ver para allá. Mira qué vista más linda.
Tenemos aquí una palmera que nos da sombra y entonces más allá el trampolín de la piscina.
Pinturas. ¿Qué tú le dices a tus fans?
Pinturas y pintores, mirando pinturas y pintores.
Ah, ok. ¿Qué le quieres decir a tus fans?
Buenos días. Estamos desayunando el frío.
¿Qué estás comiendo?
Ligero, estamos desayunando ligero. Estamos de croquetas, muy bueno. Una planta de la amiga Lore que me la llevó para que se la salvara. Así que ahora, después de vieja, estoy de jardinera también.
Estamos aquí, que acabamos de pasar la tienda. Hola, saludos.
Hola corazón, ¿cómo están ustedes? Ya los veo, ya te veo que estás conectados.
Ok, vamos a ver.
Bueno, hasta luego.
Abuela, ¿tú quieres decirle algo a tus fans?
Hoy es un día grande para nosotros, un acontecimiento importante en la familia. Lo que sentimos no poder estar todos juntos, pero con la ayuda del Señor esto pasará y nos podremos reunir.
Dale. Ok, bueno, ya ella lo dijo todo. Palabras sabias de Doña Asteria de las Villas.
Apriétalo.